Welcome back again to Alaka'i, the podcast. My name is Mutia, and today I will be the only host hosting for this episode. But today I am accompanied by a special guest. Her name is Kelly Brock. She is a registered nurse, and she has been working for more than 15 years. That's a long time for being a nurse. Correct me if I'm wrong later on, but she has been working in the missionary department, and she has been helping missionaries with identifying like their illnesses that happens during their mission. Please welcome Sister Brooke. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. It's nice to be here.
That's awesome. Well, for everyone who don't know Sister Brock, she is always around the campus helping out with all the mothers here on campus. This is something that is very exciting. Sister Brock, do you have anything to add to my introduction?
I will just add that prior to working at Missionary Medical, I worked with mothers and new babies for over 30 years at the hospital. So that was my true love, was working with the moms in labor and delivery.
Okay, so 30 years being in the nursing.
And then 15 years at Missionary Medical. So like 45 years I had worked.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. What brought you to that?
I always wanted to be a nurse. As a little girl, I just always wanted to help people, and I was very drawn to the medical field. And it wasn't until I was actually in the nursing profession that I really loved the labor, when women were in labor and delivering their babies.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that, and I loved the nurses that worked there, and so that was my goal. So I worked all around the hospital in different floors, but that was where I always wanted to end up. So it took me a couple of years after I graduated to get to work in labor and delivery.
Okay, so since it's specific to labor and delivery, since when you realized that you love kids?
When did I realize I love
Yeah.
kids? Okay, so I am the youngest of five. I have three big brothers and a big sister, and I have always loved children. I always wanted a little brother or sister, so I always would be the one that would volunteer to go babysit if anybody had children,
Oh.
little neighborhood children or whatever. And then my older brother, when he started having children, I was still a teenager, so I just loved to take care of the kids and play with the kids. And I used to teach gymnastics to kids. I just always have loved kids.
Yeah, that's a lot actually. Well, I personally love kids too. I'm coming from a family of like five children. I'm the middle out of them. And it's so interesting to be surrounded by a lot of siblings, knowing that when we need help, we have someone.
Yes, I totally agree. There's always somebody to play with or help you when you've got siblings.
Awesome. So, talking about motherhood, how many children do you have?
I have three.
Three. So, was your experience in the nursing leading you to that?
No, I just always, was hoping to have children. So um, I was I was pregnant with my first baby when I graduated, and so I had graduated and just finished the national exams for nursing when I delivered her. So I was thrilled to have a girl first. I thought that with my big brothers that you're supposed to, have brothers first. Boys need to come first. But I am still grateful to this day that I have my oldest daughter. She's been such a wonderful blessing in my life.
All right. Can you tell me a little bit about the time when you first had her?
Yes. So back in the day, my daughter is, I have to think how old she is. She is 45. And they did not do ultrasounds just routinely like they do nowadays. So there was no gender reveal. We had no idea what our babies were until they were born. So the
Wow.
big surprise was in the delivery room when the doctor finally was able to pull that baby out, and everybody's saying, "What is it? What is it?" So that's when we found out we were having a baby girl.
That's so interesting.
Yes, it was so fun. And I can remember thinking, "Oh, I just always thought I would have a boy first."
Uh huh.
And I am so grateful that I have that girl. She has been a wonderful sister and daughter, and I don't know what our family would have done without her. So,
Okay, I found it really interesting to know that back in the days we don't really do ultrasound. And if we can return back time, would you choose to do that baby gender reveal?
if I could do the gender reveal, know what it was before, I don't think so. I think I really enjoyed that surprise and in the delivery room. I thought that was really fun. The only thing that was probably not as fun is like nowadays you get everything ready and you have
Mm-hmm.
all the cute girl stuff or the cute boy stuff.
Right.
We just had to kind of wait a little bit before we got really specific. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, my youngest son, my mom had made a little quilt
Mm-hmm.
that actually had little pink bears, but it had brown bears on it too. So
Right.
when we found out it was a boy, we just put a lot of brown material on the back. So just crazy, funny things like that. But it was
Well,
fun.
that's not only surprise for the gender itself, it's also like all the stuffs that comes with it.
Yes. Yep.
That's awesome. Well, knowing that everything is kind of surprise from the baby and probably the preparation to have them. Um, is there any kind of like challenge that you think you weren't exposed before and then you never heard about it before?
As becoming a mother for the first time,
Yes.
I think it's all new. I think every new mother, you think you are so prepared and you have read things and you're ready for everything, but I think it's a learning process from day one. Um, how to take care of that baby, and I think the first babies are probably the hardest. As you're
Mm.
learning how to deal with a baby, and babies are still learning too. So I think one thing I can say is that you do learn. As a mother, you learn from your triumphs and your mistakes, and it's wonderful to have friends and family that you can talk to and learn from. And I think that's probably one of the wonderful things I see here at TVA with
Mm-hmm.
the families, that they have each other, and there is so much sharing and people that you can go to when you're in need. So that's been a wonderful thing that I've noticed here on campus with the moms and the little families here.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much in advance, like for serving all of us here on campus, because we definitely don't have so much sources that we can run to if we have a sort of problem. And then there are a lot of first timer mother around the campus that they probably don't expect to have a baby, or at the same time they're away from their family, their mother. They don't have anyone to learn from. So I heard that you reach out to a lot of mother that just being pronounced, okay, I have a baby right now. So what was your first approach to them?
So how it kind of works here on campus, the moms that do go through the health center, they will let me know that there's a mom that is expecting. So then I reach out to her and ask her, can we come visit you and see if there's anything that we can help you with, prenatal care, questions you might have. I don't think I've had anybody say no, when I've reached out to
Mm-hmm.
them. Some of the moms that don't go through the health center, then I have to rely more on friends or people on campus, sometimes through the Relief Society, that will let me know that there's a mom, a new mom, or somebody expecting. So that's how I find them to reach out to them. And but it's definitely just a service. We aren't. It's not required to have them see us. We just
Mm-hmm.
hope to be of help for them, someone they can call, someone they can feel secure with to ask questions. And I think in my experience, I've been here almost 2 years. I
Mm-hmm.
think I have seen that the more they get to know me, or their friends have gotten to know me, they feel more comfortable with me and they can ask me questions. About anything that they're worried about with their pregnancy or once they have their baby. We also always would refer them, on to the hospital or health center if we are
Mm-hmm.
concerned that it's a serious problem. But a lot of the questions are questions that they would just be hoping, that the mom or their auntie or somebody close by could help them with. And that's what we are really good at, because we've been there, we've had our own kids, we've got our grandkids. So I think a lot of what we do is to help reassure them, know they're doing a good job, when to get help when it's needed.
That's great. Well, I am kind of curious about what type of problem that might be so difficult for the mothers here on campus.
Um, Generally, I think overall is just how much time it takes and it's consuming when you have a new baby to continue to work and to continue to be a student. And I think that's one thing that we've really tried to look at all the different ways that we could help with the child care problem and things. But so far, there's not been a great answer. And so they rely on each other a lot with friends. If there is family near, or the husbands and wife just have to balance their schedule to help each other. That to me is probably the biggest hardship for the new moms on campus. And then there's always, rare but sometimes difficult outcomes. If someone has a miscarriage or were to lose a baby unexpectedly, which is so rare, but it happens. And those are the hard times, and those are the difficult times when somebody, I think, hopes that somebody will reach out to them and know that they've been going through that hard time.
Do you kind of know the best way to overcome that kind of feeling of losing a baby that you are expecting?
No, I don't think there's an answer to that. I just think that's probably one of the hardest thing that any mother has to ever go through. And I don't think it ever gets better. I just think you learn how to go on.
Okay, you mentioned that it rarely happens, but knowing that there are a lot of women giving a birth and then see this woman just, okay, I lost mine. How did you feel as someone who always helped everyone?
It is hard too. It's hard emotionally, to sometimes to be strong in all the times, because you feel deeply when someone is going through a hard time, a really sad hard time like that. Um, I know, I've known several women and have been there with them when they've gone through that loss. I've had a couple early miscarriages in my life, but never have lost a child. And so I can't say that I know that from a firsthand experience. I've just been there with others and just know how heart-rending that is and heartbreaking. So just knowing that someone is really hurting, there's not a whole lot you can say. You can't fix it. You just need to be there and to show love and concern. And a lot of times saying less is a lot better than saying too much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah, I think for me too, there might be a lot of confusion about how to respond to that feeling, because when we heard the news, we don't know if we need to discuss about it or we just need to be around or whatever it is, because people are different.
Everyone is different, but I think most of the moms that I've talked to don't want anybody to forget their baby. They don't want their baby to be forgotten.
And
So,
that's a natural feeling of a mother.
right. So I think it's something that you could say at a private time with them. I don't think it would be something appropriate in front of a lot of people to bring up something so tender like that, but definitely one-on-one to give them that support and to let them know, that you know they've just been through a huge loss and you'd like to hear, their story, what their feelings are.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for reminding us about that because we do really need to reach out to each other and looking forward to know about what's going on to their life, even though sometimes it's not playing a big significant impact for us personally, but they will always remember that we reach out to them.
They will. And I think it's probably hurtful when people avoid them because that's natural too. I mean, it is. It's like you said, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do. But sometimes that's when you pray for strength to help you know what to say and what to do when someone is going through a hard time.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot around the campus that someone who has a baby just try to go to class
Hmm.
and then try to go to work. So they gave their baby to their friends. But I know that there are a lot of people, a lot of young mother who is afraid to ask for that help to take care of, to watch over their kids while they're gone. What would you say to them?
That I would say that's really natural, normal, that you worry about your babies. You don't know, to leave them with someone like that. Is that what the question is? To
Mm-hmm.
leave them with someone that they're not sure will take the right care and love that they want that baby to have and to watch him like they should? Um, I would just say, just make sure it's a good friend. Make sure it's someone that you're comfortable with, someone that you trust, and that it's okay to go for short times and just feel reassured that your baby's going to be okay. Babies are pretty resilient. Um, and as long as you know that someone's going to feed them and love them and take care of them, but just make sure you know them. It would be hard to leave somebody with a stranger. I think it's always good to make sure it's somebody you know.
Okay. Well, before we close up this conversation we have, I want to know what's the best feeling to be a mother?
There's so many good things about being a mother. The time that you have your little ones home, close by you, has always been a special time when they're too old to totally leave you. That I always tell my kids now because I have grown up kids and young grandchildren. We have 9 grandchildren. I didn't tell you that one. But when they're all still home and you kind of have them under your wings a little bit, it is such a busy, crazy time, but it's such a wonderful time. And just taking the time to be with them because it is fleeting, it goes too fast. And then as you watch your children grow up, just to see them become capable of taking care of themselves. That's a wonderful feeling as a parent, just knowing that they're going to have hard times. You can't protect them from the whole world. They're going to have hard times, but have they been taught how to take care of themselves and to be strong when they have to be? I think that's probably one of the things that I hoped that I helped my kids and taught. And I mean, I watched them as they had hard times and things were difficult, but as they learned and they grew and learned how to do things, I felt so confident that they're going to be fine. And they all are. They can take care of themselves. And I know there's situations in families where kids struggle more than others. And I think I'll just run this by you really quick too, because I just have it on my mind as we have been studying in the Book of Mormon, King Benjamin's talk. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I've been studying that too about how much he wanted them to know he worked hard and he was not um, like a king, a ruler. And I think as a parent, you want to work side by side with your children, but you want them to
Right.
have respect for you and to learn to be hard workers. But they need to see you being a hard worker and that you're with them and you're by their side and you're going to help them, whatever hard thing they're going to go through, whatever it is, that they can feel secure that they've got your love and your support, no matter what it is that they're going to go through in life. And that we can't fix everything as a parent. Even if you wish you could, we can't, other than having our children be secure, knowing that we love them, no matter if they are the best in their class or they're the kid that can't quite do everything. You love them so much that they have that support their whole life. And that is what I have, as I studied the Savior too, I think we have learned from his example how merciful and forgiving and kind he is. And if a parent wants to do it right, I think that's who their ultimate example is the way the Savior treated everybody.
Right. Because
So,
after all, we can just give the best version of ourselves, but we cannot expect a perfect us to
no.
be a perfect parent.
And we are not perfect parents. There is no perfect parent. So you just said it exactly as I would say it. We just do our best and ask forgiveness when we know we've made a mistake, and just be there. Is it still going? Okay.
Yeah, you guys can keep going. We have generator here. It's still on.
All right. Um, so leading up to the Mother's Day, we have a lot of amazing thing that is being exposed to us women. Do you have any word of wisdom that you want to say to the mothers in the world?
I don't know. I'm like asking me for wisdom because I don't think I have a great wisdom. But I just think that wisdom for mothers is to know that you're doing better than you think you are. And I think it was President Holland that said that. Mothers, you're doing better than you think you are. And you've got to give yourself that mercy too. We talk about giving mercy to others. We've got to be merciful for ourselves too. That we are doing the best we can, and we're probably doing a lot better than we think we are. And every day you get up in the morning and you got another day. So you can look at that day that you're going to take it and do all that you can. And some days are going to be wonderful, and then you're going to have some days that aren't so wonderful. So it's good to know that some days aren't going to be great, and that's okay. That's my wisdom. So,
Well,
okay.
yeah, for everyone, please know that you are better than you think you are. Because sometimes we feel inadequate. Sometimes we feel so judgmental about ourselves. But we never know how many people admire us and admire what we are doing as a person, as a mother. Well, I'm not a mother yet, but it gives kind of point of view for me that there are a lot of things that will be offered in the future if I become a mother. With that being said, I would like to say happy Mother's Day for all of the mothers in the world, or all of you are listening who will become a mother soon. We would like to congratulate you. And please feel free to reach out if you are around the campus to Sister Brock or someone that you know of about motherhood, about labor, and everything like that. Don't worry about reaching out to someone because they will be happy to help you. We live in a very secure environment here at the BYU-Hawaii, and everyone is being centered in the gospel of Jesus Christ. So feel free to reach out to every sources here on campus. And with that, thank you so much, Sister Brooke, for coming to our podcast. And for all of you who are listening, have a good time.
Thank you. It's been fun to talk about and think about.
See ya.